Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode. We're continuing this 997 engine build. Hope you're enjoying the series so far. Don't forget to give these things a thumbs up. You're probably already subscribed. Why wouldn't you be? And we're back with Buddy in the shop, so let's get started on the next step of assembly. So today what we're going to do is put all of the components in here. There are not a lot of steps to this one, so Buddy,
Either way.
has done this amazing job of laying everything out that we need, including this parts list. So let me go ahead and show you this. You guys can pause it if you want to look at anything here in depth. But he highlighted all these part numbers and all of the parts that we are going to be assembling today. So let's walk us through this.
All right, so this, for those of you who haven't guessed so far, is the where the oil resides. So this is the oil sump plate, and we're going to assemble all the components in the oil sump plate. There are a couple of types of components. There's the pickup, which I have already disassembled, clean. Make sure you clean the screen. This is a rubber piece. Clean all the inside parts. There's a gasket here. Make sure you replace that. Then you have the anti-aerator, so you know, when the oil is swirling around and the pickup pump, the pump is picking up the oil, you want to make sure you remove the air. So these two pieces are the updated version of the anti-aerator, I guess.
We learned that they are the same.
Yes. Oh, yeah. One thing, when you're taking them apart to clean them, and you want to clean them thoroughly. I mean, I'm reusing them, except that they're going to have some gaskets, as noted in the parts bin. You can assemble them wrong. So Aaron was kind enough to point out that they are the same.
Yes,
they're symmetrical, and they get everything gets mounted on this part on the inside with our handy dandy E10 Torx. Most of these are 10 Newton meter bolts. They're short, it's not super critical. One of the things I wanted to show you over here was these are the old gaskets.
Or O-rings.
Or O-rings, I'm sorry. And sets from these parts. And I bought all of them. I bought a whole bunch of parts, and I was looking for a red and black set of rings. But as it turns out, the new ones are black and green. So just a handy dandy note, get them organized, put them, I organize them by what the pet tells you is the actual number of the slide.
And I'm going to put a link to where you can find this stuff in the description.
Yep. And yeah, we'll go. Oh, a couple of things to describe on this, right? These are baffles that this is going to go mounted on the plate. These are baffles that sort of keep the oil in the place where the pump is going to pick them up. Under high G loads, it sort of slows down the oil going somewhere else. This is a standard arrangement. There's an X51, which is aluminum. It's a lot cooler looking, and apparently it helps keep the oil in place. But we're just going to go with the standard arrangement here.
Yeah, and there's other companies that sell deep sump versions of things like that. But I just wanted to show off one thing since I just got a vapor honer. I didn't do a great job because I don't have the air compressor that can keep up with it yet, but I just have a little tiny air compressor hooked up to it. But it was nice enough to, you should have seen this before.
Yeah.
much cleaner with the vapor honer now.
Yep, absolutely. So, and the other thing is there's several versions of sealants that you can put here. This is the one we're using. If you're in Europe, you're going to use something else. This is generally a good, a couple things. It has to be sensor safe, oil resistant, right? And so this fits the bill. Porsche uses that Loctite product. I can't remember the number, but
it's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe that one.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, that's what we're going to be using.
Loctite 5900.
Yes, that's it. Yep, and dye bond and ultra black and right stuff. So I was doing research on what we could use for that. All right, so we're first going to mount the baffles here. And for purists out there, I know I'm using an extension. I'm going to be using my digital torque wrench. Yes, you're going to lose some torque on the extension. Of course you are. Some kids out there. But for 10 Newton meters, it probably doesn't make that much of a difference.
Especially since most people probably assemble this without a torque wrench anyway.
Yeah, but super important to have that torque wrench, of course. I'm going to close the freaking garage door. Okay, 10 Newton meters, which is not going to be a lot. Oop. Oop. All right, and not that it's going to make that much of a difference. I want to make sure we witness marking.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We've been slack on some of them before.
Right, yeah, we noticed when we opened up the nice witness mark there. All right, what's next? Let's assemble the innards. So again, a couple of these, this. Got to put the rubber dampeners on this.
So maybe do those first since they're at the very bottom.
Yeah, let's do those. Get our handy dandy new ones. Yeah, I'm sure it won't be that much of a difference, but I'm applying the same amount of force on them.
As soon as somebody invents rubber that never gets old, then they'll be rich.
All right. All right. So these are going to hold the oil measuring device, the oil level sensor. That's what it is. Where I put a little bit of dielectric grease in there. And this is a vent tube. So these will go eventually through this from the other side of the engine. All right, so we will first place them in the engine compartment. I'm presuming this way. Oop, that's not it. There's only one way they can go. There. This way.
Laces out, laces out.
There we go. It's nice and tight in here. All right. You want to be super careful not to drop these. So I'm going to start them by hand.
Yeah, that would make me sad if they fell into the innards of the engine.
Yeah, especially in there. All right, critical part right now. There's some people that suggest like we're going to have a couple of critical bolts coming up that would make it very painful if they were dropped inside the engine. And so a rubber hose, it sort of closely mates to the top. Also, the nice thing about doing this by hand is that you get the threads right, especially with these fittings. So
I guess you could stick some chem wipes down there to catch anything that fell if you dropped it.
You could.
Or you can just be careful.
You can just be careful, yeah. All right. Go for my tool, 10 Newton meters. Alrighty. Next, let's install these puppies with their respective O-rings. Now, since this is going to be a little bit of a sealant, it's done hurt, I'm sure.
Assembly lubes.
Yeah, put a little bit of lubes. So it goes in nicely. Also, of course, this has been thoroughly cleaned. I've kept it protected. etc., etc. This is not going nice and tight in there. That's where you don't want to lose a bolt, of course. Okay, this is these two bolts. Focus, concentrate. Okay. Oh, a couple of things on these. When I was cleaning them, these things could pop out potentially. So you want to make sure you assemble them on the correct side, the side where the bolts go in. So just a handy dandy gold nugget.
I like it.
Well, you know what we didn't do? We didn't witness mark the ones we just put in. Probably not a bad idea. Remember, anytime you torque. And since they're all 10 Newton meters, I'm just gonna do all the torquing in the end. And torque and witness, torque and witness. These are just... See, look how nice that looks. Sends up all the air up there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very, very nice. Okay. A bit of Jamba Juice. Right. So there's only one way this goes. Fortunately. Don't drop it. Don't lose your focus now. No stories, Aaron, please. No stories. Okay. Again, just a couple of, make sure you catch the thread. Then, oh, you know what? One of the things that we didn't do is put some juice on these, just to make it easy to insert. Because these are going to have, these tubes come in.
Yep. Good call.
Right, so you want to make sure that they're nice and juiced up. Doesn't hurt. So we've got this ready, 13 bolts, this ready. We must now torque all of these to spec, Newton meters. All right. So you're going to torque and mark. All right, then just the final check to make sure all the witness marks are there. Yep.
All right, before you start sealing things together, always a good idea to test fit. So we put that on, marked at the front, so we'll know which way to put it on.
Yep. And this will come down nicely like that. So there's no angle or anything. And see how there's stuff that's outside. So if you grab it by these two, you will not interfere with any of the nice goop that we put down. Okay? So that's...
Oh yeah, speaking of goop, the other thing we wanted to point out from our other video is this sealant that we used is, what's the word?
Anaerobic.
Meaning that it is still gooey, which is really weird. So heat, I guess, is what?
No, flank sealant. It's no, it's anaerobic, meaning it will only solidify in the absence of air. So, good buddy Lee Jenkins verified that the stuff that's inside devoid of air is going to seal, and you're going to have some of the goop outside that has still been exposed to air, not solid.
That is really weird and interesting.
Yeah. All right, so let's prep this. All right.
I will speed this up in post, but essentially we're just going all around the outside and around each of the holes. And then we're going to come back just like we did with the engine block and kind of tap it down with our finger. And again, no reason to go into here because there's no mating surface on the cover that we're putting on. Let's give it 1 more inch.
Dude, that's like 6 inches. Okay. All right. Whew. 90-minute working time.
90 minutes. Ooh, we got all kinds of time.
Yeah.
You can go have a beer, come back, finish this up.
All right. Is this messy? Seems a little messy.
A little bit. I've never done this tappy method before. I've just always thrown the plate on, but I'm going with the more experienced people.
Yeah. Big thing is no discontinuities, right?
Exactly.
So if you end up with some of this in the oil filter, that's okay. Not very desirable, but
You can only mess up 4 times.
I mean,
You only got 4 fingers to wipe it off.
oh yeah. I didn't think I was laying it that thick. It's incredible, isn't it? I've done this upside down.
Yeah. Yeah. Much easier from standing up. I assume that there is a tightening sequence that you are supposed to do on this. But I
You
guess
talking to
it's
me
just-
or are you talking to the viewers?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I'm
The
assuming.
viewers probably know better than us, but
We'll look at the books.
Yeah.
It's probably not super critical, but
yeah, it's probably as long as you don't go in a row, as long as you skip around, applying some equal pressure as you go. That can be somewhat useful.
there probably should be a sequence, right? And we'll number them. Put nice numbers here.
Sure.
I'll look it up. Oh, wait for copy.
All right, looking in the book, we just realized, I think we called this something else. This is the oil temperature sensor.
And it sort of makes sense, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was cleaning this, it said 150 C. And then in here, you have something that looks like a thermistor, but yeah, 150 C, so that makes sense.
Oh wait, so that one's the
Yeah,
temperature sensor? Oh, I said the silver one was. What's the silver one?
can you see through it?
Yeah, it's just a vent.
It's just a hoe.
All right. No numbers. All right, we
10 Newton meters!
Well, yeah, there's that. We need that part. So we'll make up our own sequence.
There's no sequence. What the freaky deaky Dutch? Do one more or?
We only have 85 minutes left, so
What?
we only have 85 minutes of drive time left.
Oh, let's just number them then. Which one should be number 1? You get
I think we start here.
1. Then
I think we gotta go here.
here.
Yeah, that looks good. So over here. Edges, corners.
Oh,
Sure. Yep. Love it. Yep. Edge. We tidy up the middle. That I think that Ferdinand Porsche would have probably chosen these same numbers.
yes. So, and we'll do the witness marking at the end. Or you can do it. And here we go.
Number 1. All right, I'm gonna multitask and mark and film. Mark and film, mark and film.
Oh, these numbers are awesome. I'm glad we did it, actually.
Yeah, you would forget.
Well, even if you
It's
mark
easier
them,
than looking at the witness marks.
yeah. We're on 10. All right.
Hopefully there's supposed to be 13 bolts.
Yeah. Yep. Turn
Torque
that.
check.
It's
Beautiful.
because we're super.
Now we just have to find a crush washer for the drain plug and torque him. Oh, speaking of torquing plugs, the one thing we did not mention in the last video.
Right, we're going to swim the rest of it.
I'm going to sneak over here and mention this. That plug that we used to stick the tool into, we also has a crush washer, and we plugged that up and torqued him down. So yeah, don't forget that.
Oh, and the torque spec for that particular.
Yes, yes.
Hold on, I'm making time.
What is it?
It is, and I will tell you because I have it memorized. It is 80 Newton meters.
80 Newton meters.
Yeah, it was a lot of Newton
I
meters.
do remember it was tough to get off when I took it off. All
Oh,
right,
wait,
guys.
wait. Shouldn't we put these in?
Oh yeah, probably. Where do they go through the other side, I guess?
Yeah.
Top. All right, we are holding off to torque this until we get a crush washer, which somehow we don't have right now. The most common part on an engine.
Exactly.
But we're gonna go ahead and put the tubes into the other side of this thing. So we're gonna flip it over. Okay, so this is great. This is what our engine used to look like. This is what it looks like now. A little bit of a difference. So we just went to pictures of the old one, confirm we were putting these two tubes in the correct side. So to orient you with the engine, oh yeah, so there's, just a little difference.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy,
And that's this.
it's over here, and he's going in here. So you just slide them in and, oh yeah, nice and smooth. Screw them in, and then we will torque these things down, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
This one goes in the other side, same thing, drop it in, spin it on, tighten it up. All right, so we don't see any torque values anywhere for these things. So we're just going to tighten them on. The manual just says that they are screwed on.
It's aluminum and aluminum. Okay. And this has a washer, a copper washer.
They're not going anywhere.
So.
All right, so that is it for this step. Again, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any suggestions, things you would have done differently, leave a comment below. Let us know, because we are always checking that and could use the input. This is our first time building an engine, if you haven't picked up on that yet. So thanks again. We'll see you on the next episode.